Longevity is the hottest word in fitness these days. Everybody wants to, one, live longer, but live a good quality of life. That's why I invited John Ranello. He has been in the fitness industry for 53
That's
years.
right.
And believe me, he knows a lot about longevity. I have the honor of being able to work with John every day, and I see the things that he does, and I'm just amazed at what you're able to do at this point in your life. So, John, welcome to the crowd and tell everybody what you know about longevity.
Thank you very much, Jenny. And longevity is important, but more importantly, is if you're living a long life, does it have meaning and purpose? That's the whole thing. So, what I like to talk about is power, and this idea from this philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who spoke about the will to power. And the will to power is having the energy and vitality to bring forth that inner dynamic of yourself, what you're made for, what God put you here for. So this is the important thing here. So today we're going to talk about 5 components of longevity, of health. Number one, we're going to talk about neurological health, the health of your brain. If we don't have brain power, we don't have the ability to think carefully and fully, then we're going to diminish tremendously. The second thing I want to talk about is the most important thing to me, psychological health. The word psyche means soul. So psychology is the study of the soul. And to me, the soul is a driving force within you that has a vision for your life that wants you to bring forward. And what happens in life without the will to power is that we take the easy way out. We become comfortable and just want to be safe and secure. But taking the hard way is difficult. So that's why we need power. So we need not only neurological health of our brain, but we need psychological health, this tremendous power of our soul. And the third thing we need is emotional intelligence. This is grit, determination, positive attitude, not giving up. When things are difficult, a lot of people fold and say, that's it, I'm out of here. But the emotional intelligence is so important, the ability to be able to sustain yourself when we fail and we give up. And so that's this also this will to power that I'm talking about. The fourth dimension, of course, is physical health, having the vitality and strength in your physical body and eating properly and so on. And the fifth component I like to speak about is spiritual health, the need we all have for God, and that we need God in our life, the energy of God pouring into us, and this idea that God has a plan for each of us in this world. And if we have the energy and vitality to bring it forth, then we're going to have a very successful life. Right. Now, this sense of striving to bring something out is so important that even the desert people who live in the Kalahari Desert speak about the 2 hungers. The small hunger is the hunger for food and drink and sex. But the big hunger is to bring forth this inner dynamic, their soul, to bring forth the vision that God has for your life. And to them, that's the big hunger that we have to take care of. And I just watched a little podcast with a lot of people who were working with people who are in the dying stage of their life. And their one big regret is that they didn't bring forth the vision that they had, that God had for their life, that they took the easy way out, the comfortable way. Wow. So this is it. So getting back to this idea Nietzsche had, the will to power, he called it the person who can achieve that. He coined the term Uberman or Superman. And he considered the Superman or woman the person who could overcome their own pleasure principle, give that up, and dedicate their life to something greater than themselves, which is what the hero does. And that's the will to power, not the will to power to defeat someone else, but the will to power to motivate yourself to how, regardless of how long it takes you, to bring forth this inner vision that you should have for yourself. Wow. So let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
And do you do that with your clients? So I see you day to day with some clients that are older than you, younger than you, and I see you pull things out of your clients in order to get them to achieve a certain thing, you know, in the gym or in life. But do you work with your clients on all those 5 spectrums?
Yes.
Cognitive,
Yes.
Emotional, physical,
yes.
Spiritual?
I think my job, even in this podcast, is to get people to realize that there's something within each of us, that God has a specific plan for us. You know,
Mhm.
Jesus speaks about building the kingdom of God over and over again. Well,
Right.
to me, the kingdom of God is each of us doing our own little thing to bring forth this beauty of the world and to have this sense of everyone. See, I think, like, say, you and I are trainers. Okay, so you might say, well, everyone's a trainer, but each individual trainer has their own little goal that they're trying to bring forth. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So we can all be in the same business, but have a different direction that we want to take.
Right.
So let's talk a minute about the importance of our brain, because you know a lot about that yourself.
Right.
Now, brain health is so important. The biggest discovery in the last 50 years in brain health is that we can grow new brain cells regardless of how old we are. So this is an unbelievable thing. It's called neurogenesis, the birth of new cells. And what stimulates the birth of new cells? Exercise,
Wow.
cardiovascular exercise,
Wow.
weightlifting, jumping around, jumping rope. This stimulates blood flow into the brain, which is what we
Wow.
need. So we used to think that we were born with just a certain number of brain cells and that's it. But no, all of a sudden we find out through scanning the brain that we can grow new brain cells. And this is like an incredible thing. Now,
Wow.
these new brain cells will die off unless you give those brain cells something to do. So that's why study is important. So I try to teach my clients, work out hard and then go home and study something new. Memorize it. You must purposefully encode the information into the brain over and over again. So just like we teach children the ABCs and we have to repeat it over and over again,
Right.
the same with this. So the new brain cells then would become part of the communication network. Otherwise, if you don't study something, they will just simply die off. So I think of these new brain cells like bringing new workers into something, like they're enthusiastic about getting started.
Right.
You know, they're not like the old brain cells of me that have been there, done that. These are like bringing in new employees who are very motivated to get going.
We
So
all need new motivated brain
yeah, so
cells.
new brain cells are very important for all of us to have. And
That's
so
amazing.
that's neurological health, is this idea we can grow new brain cells. Now, of course, eating right, exercising, study, those are the main components of brain health.
Brain health.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go over that one more time,
Sure.
just so the audience can keep up. So John has what, 5 components
Yes.
of health and wellness as that attributes to your longevity.
Yes.
Okay, so number 1,
Neurological health.
neurological health. Number 2,
Psychological health.
psychological health. Number 3,
3 is emotional intelligence.
oh, yeah.
Grit.
We need a lot of
determination.
emotional intelligence
Yes.
for people out on the
Yes.
highway.
Yeah.
Driving on the whole way.
Yeah.
And then,
Number 4, of course, physical strength
Physical.
and health.
okay,
And then finally, we need spiritual health.
so where was brain health in
Brain health is number 1, neurological health. That's
neurological health?
So neurological health has to do with your brain and keeping your brain functioning at a high level. So
Right.
how to get great brain health? Find a subject you're passionate about and don't lose your enthusiasm for it.